Right then, so hello everybody, and welcome to my Forza Horizon and so Forza series, which is the biggest rip-off of Top Gear ever, and this is just the first episode. It's probably going to seem a bit crap, it doesn't have a challenge in it, it's me just chatting rubbish about cars, but I can promise you it will get better, so please do persevere. So we're going to be starting by looking at an off-road car. And it is a Ford off-road car, so I hope you enjoy. Well, off the start there's not much wheel spin, so that's probably good if you can't handle no traction control. Now, we're here currently in the city, and we may have just hit a Mercedes. So I'm sorry about that. So we're going to be heading out off-road. But even though this car isn't off-road yet, it's still mighty fast. And it feels good to drive. It doesn't have, it handles well. It doesn't have bad handling. It doesn't try and kill you every time you turn a corner. It really is an excellent car. Oh, hello. There's another extreme off-road car. It's a Mini. Now, I don't think I'm going to race that car. Should I race? No, he's crashed. He's clearly an incompetent driver. This is an excellent car. Even though the steering wheel's on the long side, it's got lots of buttons and roll cage and everything. It is a very, very nice car to drive. It's not a rally car, although you can use it in rallying. It isn't perfect, but then, do you expect it to be? We're now on our way. Oh, there's another extreme off-road car. Why is everybody driving these? But the thing is, that is no match for this. The braking on this is very good. They're all driving extreme off-road cars. Why? Does that have as good a braking? It's faster in a straight line by the looks of things. But is it the best for off-road? Is it strong? It doesn't look very safe, if I'm honest. Is it nimble? This is a big car, but very easy to move. Right, we're now on the outskirts of town. And I appear to have found something. And I'm going to go in there, if I can find out where to get in. Lovely theatre bath. Right, here we go. Here's some off-roading and a jump. And that felt good. Just you probably roll that normally in a normal car. So this is a construction site. And I'm just wondering how much damage I can do to this construction site without damaging the car. For example, that didn't work. But this car, it's an off-roader. It can go quickly. But it also works brilliantly on normal roads in the town, in the cities. And it doesn't look out of place anywhere, it just looks like a big pickup truck. And that, I think, is the key to this car's success, and everybody liking it and wanting it. it is a brilliant car. And it's got the suspension's good, the ride is good, the traction's good, the braking is excellent. This is really an all-round car. It's not a supercar, it's not a family car, it's a two-seater, probably it's basically a racing car. But it's a different type of racing. It's off-road. And even though its speed isn't incredible, the speed is good. And I'm quite glad I own this truck.
Right, so as you see, this is a very good car on the game. I'm not trying to say that these cars, anything in this series, I'm not saying it's good in real life, I'm merely saying it's on the game, but it should be interesting anyway just to watch me drive it. Anyway, it's now time to put another off-road Ford round our track. It is the Ford Ranger's bigger, slightly more uncontrollable, less suitable for off-road cousin, the Ford Raptor. So, let's see how that goes. Right then, so off the line, not much wheel spin, rather like the Ranger. So now, through the first corner, and now we're coming up to Wilson. Let's see how it takes it. Decent line inwards, actually. And will it run wide on the outside? It's got a good line, so I think that is a good start to the lap by the Ford Raptor. Now, coming up to Chicago, and really there's nothing much to say. He hits a cone there on the way in, or when I say he, it is me, because we don't have the money to afford tame racing driver. Now, up towards the Hammerhead. Let's see. Now, will he do it well? Good braking. Keeping on the line. No, wide, hitting a cone, murdering some cones. That is unfortunate, but it's lost time. So now we're coming up towards the follow-through. Let's see, will there be braking? Will there be braking? Yes, lots of braking, because this car has about as much downforce as a potato. And now we're coming up through Bentley, very fast. Wow, past the tyres. Now to the second to last corner. Will he cut it? No, good through the second to last corner, but running one on the exit, that will have lost some time. And that's going to, yep, it's not help the entrance to the last corner. We go very wide and across the line. So, on our very high-tech sophisticated board, we see the Ford Raptor is the only car they did in 138.156, so pretty poor lap. And we'll see how long it remains at the top of the leaderboard. So, in Series 1, I'll be looking at some of the best historical cars of certain manufacturers. And today we're going to be starting with Mercedes, looking at their street racer from 1954 all the way through to 2009, because I'm lazy and can't afford to buy the more recent cars on the game. So, let's start in 1954 with the Mercedes-Benz 300 SL Coupe.
This is the first Mercedes we're going to be looking at in their excellent history, which we're going to be looking at today. And well, there's not much to say about it. The 1954 Mercedes 300 SL Coupe. It was the fastest car of its day, and it was designed to be a street racer with gull-wing doors, something which now you only have on modern supercars. It has a V6 engine with 3000cc, which is, for its day, a lot, because we won't be getting back to that with Mercedes for quite a while. Like a lot of Mercedes, which we're going to be looking at, this Mercedes has an excellent engine sound. But you will also notice that as the years go by, the engine sound doesn't get to the height of this and the next Mercedes we're looking at. And as I have a head-on collision and write this beautiful car off, I think it's time I get it repaired and we look at the next Mercedes, which is the 1967 Mercedes-Benz 280. Now, when driving around northern Italy, it is quite easy to get lost, and I have to confess, that is what I've done. I've no idea where I am. It's getting dark, so I think we're going to have to fly to the other side of the world in Australia to test our next car. As you can see, I have done quite a bit of damage, so not very welcome in Italy anymore. So, see you in Australia. Now we come to our next Mercedes. It's two-seater only, and it's open top, which makes it a pleasure to drive in nice weather, as I'm doing here. When it rains, you put the roof up, but it's still a very nice car to drive. It has a V6 engine, and it's 2,780cc, which, if you play Mario Kart, you know that's quite a lot. Unfortunately, with all the upgrades I put on it, it is quite difficult to control, so you might want to try a bit of traction control. But if you don't have traction control, drifting through corners in this car is one of the most fun things you can do on this game. Although it does mean if you do something at high speed, it's not going to end well. This car is almost like a compressed version of some of the Mercedes pre-war cars. The way it is open top, it's got those seats there. It's almost like the six-seater ones which they used to produce before the war. But it's faster, it's nicer to drive, and I think even though it's not meant to be a street racer, it's much nicer than the other one. Much, much nicer. And with that, I think it's time we move on to our next brilliant Mercedes. So, the 1990 Mercedes-Benz 190E is a very nice car. I have to say, it is good. In many ways, it's a sports car really. It was using DTM, which is the German touring cars, if you didn't know that. But now it looks nice, and now I think it's time we see, as we go around to the driver's door, how it drives. So, you probably want to know how is the car, how does it drive, how does it feel, is it fast, is it sluggish? Oh my god, oh no, we've crashed it in a tunnel, we've crashed the car in a tunnel. And that, I think, has been written off. We might have killed a few people as well. That, I'm afraid, we cannot review this car then, because it has in fact died. This is a car you cannot not love. It's a 2005 Mercedes, and it's the one that you know. It's the one which won a race against public transport on Top Gear from London to Oslo. It goes 197 miles an hour. It is a Mercedes supercar, and it looks incredible. I mean, that's all we need to know. I mean, it is an incredible car. It's quick, it's fun to drive, it looks nice. If you're looking for a car, not in real life, on this game, as I just crash it and write it off. Anyway, on this game, if you're looking for a car, then this is a car which you probably should definitely be buying. It is certainly an incredible car. And it can withstand all kind of brutality which you're putting it up against. So, yeah, you need this car. It's fast without upgrades. It's only 216k, which, to be honest, is less than what you spend on a okay cheap car, and then you upgrade it so it's basically a teenager's best friend. This isn't even that anyway. It's just a quick car, and I mean it doesn't look great anymore because I've ruined it, but this car is phenomenal. And as I tear up the cones at the docks, I mean, there's nothing more to say about this car, but let's move on to the 2009 Mercedes-Benz 65 AMG. So, we're back in Italy now after I wrote off a Mercedes in a tunnel in Australia. I could have done it in France, but I chose Australia instead. But anyway, this is a 2011 Mercedes-Benz SLS AMG. And you would have heard me earlier talking about, in the earlier cars, them having about 3000cc and a V6 engine. This has 6000cc and a V8 engine, making it an incredible car. It may well not be the nicest looking car, but it really is, in its terms of looks, a hark back to the first car I looked at, the 1954 Mercedes-Benz. Because it's got the golden doors, it's got the rather long, fat front. It really does look quite like that. But looks aside, it is an incredible car to drive. Probably nicer than the 67 convertible, because it is faster and it feels nicer. It can slide around a bit, but it is controllable when it slides, and you're not hoping that you don't end up in a wall or a tunnel and dying. It really is an exceptional car. Now, as I go off the road, now, some of you Formula 1 fans might recognise this. Well, that's because it was the Formula 1 safety car. I mean, it's not the right car at the moment, but this car was the Formula 1 safety car. And that is an impressive fact. Mercedes have always supplied the safety car in fairly recent history, since the late 90s, but none of them have been as amazing as this car. It's fast. I mean, it's not as quick as a Formula 1 car, but it is an incredible car. And I think it deserves its job as a safety car. It's mighty fast, and I think most other Mercedes-Benz and a lot of other road cars would have trouble keeping up with this, because the thing is, it's not a supercar, is it? It's a sports car. I think having a supercar as the Formula 1 safety car really would not work, but having a front mid-engine sports car, that really does work. And a car which looks like this, it just looks like it was made for the job. Oh, it's a tunnel in France. I should have done it here.
Right, thank you for that. Yes, it's a nice car, and yes, it was the safety car, and I think it is probably my favourite car out of all of the Mercedes. Yes, better than the supercar. Better than the open-top car, which I really like. But the thing is, this goes around the same top speed, but without flying off the road and killing you because it's been given a bigger engine and now has too much torque for the wheelbase. So, I think I have to admit, this is my favourite car, and we're going to have to end on that, because I've realised the 2017 Mercedes, which I was planning on testing next, you've got to pay for it in real money, and because I'm poor and have dedication to this, I'm not going to be able to buy that. So, please subscribe to my channel so I have many subscribers and get ad revenue so I can spend it on making the series better and actually getting a decent capture card, so my thing doesn't look like it was recorded by a potato, which it was. So as we come now down to Nice, which I actually managed to get lost in because I have no sense of direction, it's time that we go back to something we did earlier in the show. So, at the beginning of the show, I looked at the Ford Ranger, which I said was a brilliant off-road car and had everything you want. I also looked at the Ford Raptor, which was slow, sluggish, and not as good as a Ranger. But now there's another off-road car, which I think could well be better than the Ford Ranger. So, here it is. Step right up, the Baldwin Trophy. And here it is. So what better way to test it than racing against a group of powerboats?
So, the Baldwin Trophy. How good is it? The launch isn't great, so that is expected because it's an off-road vehicle. I'm try and get a wide line down here, straight into the river, my goodness. That's quite interesting. Now, through here, up through here now. This is a place where it's quite bumpy, don't want to roll it up here. There we go, good stuff. Now coming down, where are the boats? There are the boats! Right, we are completely neck and neck with these boats now.
Yes, we are neck and neck, and we're going to remain that way, but we have an advantage because our car is faster through the corners and quicker on land.
Oh, we don't have the traction out of there. Or putting throttle down way too hard. Here we go. The boat's there to our right, and we know that we have to beat them. Or, well, it's basically confirmed that this is the inferior car. Come on. We're going into the river now, clearly. And we may have made a mistake, quite a big mistake. I don't know where we are, I can't actually see. Okay, we've made it out of the river, but we've lost a bit of time. I still think we can win this race if we go fast enough, but this car isn't quick enough in a straight line, really. Those boats just trump it in that area. So we really have to work pretty hard now. Ooh. Nope. There we go. Flick the car out of the rear. Get through. Power. This is going quite well, I'd say. Oh my god. The boats have just jumped us, and that has made me go a bit wide because I was surprised, and I've taken out some telephone poles, so sorry to the people of Australia for not having any telephone communication fair for now. They're pretty cut off from society anyway, though. Right. Home straight. We are behind them now, but we're just going to make it through. I think we might have done it. No, I think have we done it? Yes, we've done it.
Right, so the Baldwin Trophy beat the Powerboats, but does that make it better than the Ford Ranger or even the Ford Raptor? Well, it's better than the Raptor because the Raptor was horrible to drive and fairly slow, as you saw by the time around our track. The Ranger we didn't put around our track because it's not on Forza 6, nor is the Baldwin Trophy. So, from driving them on Horizon 3, the Ranger better launch, better braking, better straight line speed. The Baldwin Trophy is got a better suspension, better off-road actually, better through the water, it's got a higher ride height, so it's pretty neck and neck. We've had to choose one car to own. Well, I already own it. It's the Ford Ranger. And on that note of deciding that Baldwin can't make a good car, it's time to end. Thank you very much for watching, and see you next time.